is really neat. Look at this strawberry tower. Been here for 5 years. Practically nothing to put together. A chair, you can get them on the side of the street or the thrift store, a tote lid, and then those cheap strawberry trays from the dollar store, which they still sell. This is it today. I think I've got another year out of this. Not bad for 5 years, and a few extra special touches. So now you want to see how this all started, and we'll quickly go through everything, so maybe it will give you ideas on how to grow strawberries or even herbs or other plants as well. Oh, wouldn't that be beautiful with flowers? Wow, that would be a spinning bouquet, wouldn't it? Well, here I am 5 years ago with my Robbie hat. Where is that thing? And I bought that chair at the thrift store, though you can find them all the time on the side of the road. But I have the totes, as you know, around here, and I decided to cut a tote lid in half and slide it on there. You can use wood or anything because you want to make sure the strawberry flats that we're using, those trays, can sit flat, because I took the seat off of this because it was kind of a cushiony seat. So I took another tote and I decided to sit the chair. You can see the whole video. You can find it on YouTube. Inside a tote. Why not? The water's going to run off somewhere, so it might as well run off into the tote, and I don't care what grows on the bottom. And then I proceeded to go ahead and get my soil from all over around here. I probably at the time put a little potting mix in there as well. And I put these old ones together. Keep in mind, 5 years ago when I built this, I already had old strawberry trays that I had bought at the 99-cent store back then. So they're more than 5 years old now. But I went ahead and decided to use them because I like the swivel idea. And the top one I painted blue. I was painting something else, maybe a tote or a chair. And I decided, well, I got a little bit of blue paint left and I painted it. Look how it turns. This is perfect if you have like a corner or something to put it in. You could rotate it to give it sunlight or even to pick your strawberries. Can't beat that. So what I did about 3 weeks ago is I went out in the morning like I usually do before breakfast, and I decided it was time to freshen this up. I did not get to it last year, and that meant pulling out all the old strawberries that were growing in there. And believe you me, they are root bound, and they're not going to give me much of anything in that condition. So I went through and I looked it over and I thought, you know what? It's been 5 years. The tote lid could be changed, but then I'd have to lift the whole thing apart. And I figured I'm going to leave it for one more year. I have so much to do around here. Why not? Now I had the black 1/4-inch tubing on there, holding it like I use all over the irrigation tubing. What you see to the right is 1/2 inch. What I used on there was 1/4 inch with a wire in there. But it wasn't snug enough. So I used the rope that I pick up at Dollar Tree. They've got great rope in the automotive section. Keep an eye on that. I use it all over the bird garden as well. So I decided to wrap it around and tie it to the back of the chair. This will keep it so it won't tip over. So it has the 1/4 inch hoop on it, and now it's got a rope on it too. And then I proceeded to start pulling them out. Now those are seascapes. And some of them made it. They don't create runners. They actually spread. They're a different type of strawberry, and they're harder to find, and they do fruit all year. They won't give you the biggest, most beautiful, full abundance of fruit, but here in Southern California, they'll keep fruiting. See how big the root is? It's massive. And they get really big, and then they send off shoots from the mother plant itself. And you can divide them. I do it all the time when I remember. So I went ahead and decided to divide what was left of them. Like I said, I didn't get to this last year. And I did get strawberries, but when you take care of your strawberries, you're going to get a whole lot more than if you just leave them alone and forget about them. So I went ahead and I separated them. This is great. Now, keep in mind, you can keep old soil from other containers you're growing, in, and keep that. Don't throw it away. Some people tell you, go buy new soil, go buy plant food. No. Collect your old soil that you're not using and throw leaves and stuff in there. It will decay in there. That's how nature does it. Leaves fall, decays on the ground, and creates new compost soil, whatever you want to call it. You can do the same thing. You can garden on the free. But of course, if you want to buy plant food, totally up to you. I will never stop you. That's wonderful because it does support people that are selling it. But I don't buy anything. I create everything around here just as nature does because So anyways, what I'm doing here is just packing in some soil, and I'm going to go ahead and get everything planted that I need. I love working in the morning, especially on warm days. Yes, our winter here has been in the 90s at times. And though I'm not complaining, I love it. I don't know what's going to be with summer. And the main thing is your soil's got to be fresh and not root bound. Otherwise, when you water plants that are root bound, they're not getting enough water because it goes right into the pot and out. And it's so packed with roots, you won't be able to get the plant enough water. So get it all situated, tear it apart, even tear off some of the roots, and then give it a good water. Anytime you plant anything new, you want to make sure for about a week you're watering at least once a day, if not 2 or 3 times a day, until the new water roots, feeder roots, start to get established, and then they'll anchor themselves in and they'll be pulling up plenty of water. But in the beginning, plants are struggling when we kind of mess around with them. So I went to Home Depot to see what they had. They did not have Seascape, but they do have other strawberries, and Everbearing will do. It's similar, it will send runners out, but it should get pretty good strawberries. So now I got 6 strawberry plants. I think they were on sale too, so I got them for a little bit of a better price. And now I proceeded 3 weeks later to get the rest of this in. And there they are. Because 3 weeks ago, I went ahead and redid the tower. Now I'm going to get the last of them in. I'm trying to do something this year that I don't normally do. I have a habit of going to the nursery, buying a bunch of plants, sitting them on a table, and having to water them for 3 months because I'm so busy I don't get them all planted. So my big thing this year is when you buy them, I'm giving myself a week. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try. And I did just buy these, and I'm going to get all of them in. I'm doing really good because I'm buying plants and starting to get them in where I want them. Be it the ground, a tote, a flower pot, a bucket, it doesn't matter. So now I'm just going to go through each one. What was interesting on this 6-pack of strawberries is there was little like tears, like you're supposed to tear it out, and I did not want to damage the roots, and the 6-pack here was not really reusable. It was so thin. See, it had like slits, and so I decided to just go ahead and where the slits were, just tear it down and get them all out. And that worked much better for me than trying to push it out because I would have damaged the roots way too much. And we're kind of late for the strawberry season because you really want to get them in. Well, in Southern California, you want to plant them like in February, but it's okay. You know what? I planted strawberries in June and July and I still get strawberries, so don't worry about it. So now I'm going to get them all in, kind of freshen up the soil. I'm feeling around to make sure there's no impacted roots from the old plants in there. And if there is, I just pull it out, crumble it away, and add in some more soil and tuck them around. And that's all I'm doing. This is what I do in the morning. Now, I did speed this up. The whole process this morning took me 10 minutes. That's all. And this is beautiful. You're out in the garden, nature. You're hearing the birds sing. I'm hearing the towies scream because they got the baby behind me. And now I went to the other side of the yard where I've got a couple plants growing on the ground. My daughter had given me something called pineapple strawberries, and they never really grew that good. You get a few of these little white-looking things, but they're on the ground, they're spreading around. So I thought, well, I've got an extra pocket. So I kind of used the awkward pocket that's behind the chair. It's not really awkward. But I went ahead and I'm going to put 2 of those in there unless I get another strawberry, but I don't care. That one will do. And that's it. Now the whole thing is almost done. I'm going to do some added touches to it. Now you want to make sure you water it. But you know what I have found that works for me? Keeping a watering can nearby, right where you're working. So I keep this right to the side, full of water, and I do this with a lot of plants now because you'll kind of walk by during the day or whenever, and you'll look at that watering can and go, yeah, I got to water that. Otherwise, if you've got to get a hose or walk somewhere far, you will forget. And why not make your life easier? Now, those are zinnias, I believe, growing on the top. I threw some seeds there. That is my original tag from my seascapes, and that one's already flowering. And think about it, I moved these around 3 weeks ago. So now they're all set up. I think it's going to work out really well, but I see space. Now, what am I going to do with space? That pocket is dripping on that tote lid and going down and watering my mustard underneath, but I could do better than that. And you know how? I see blue there. I remember I've got these trays. That comes from mushrooms that you buy at the grocery store. You know how they pack mushrooms in these plastic containers? They work great for growing. So I went ahead, collected some more of those pineapple strawberries, whatever they are. Since they're growing all over, there they are. And why not sit it there? So now when the pocket drips, it will drip first on that before it goes underneath. I mean, It's not about saving water. It's about being efficient. I've got space. Let's use it. So 2 of those mushroom trays will give me 2 more strawberry plants instead of them just sitting on the ground, and we're done. Look, I have a spinning strawberry tower. So cheap. Can't cost you more than $6, $10. Anyways, I hope I'm giving you ideas. This is what I'm all about. I want you to be able to garden on the free or close to it. But of course, anything you want to buy, whether it's plant food or whatever, go ahead and do it. So tell me what you think. I've got 1 more year out of this, and hopefully we'll get some really nice strawberries. And now I'm off to doing other things in the garden, and I don't have to think about strawberries this year. So with that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. And I hope I'll be eating a lot of strawberries this year, but we are eating tomatoes already, as you can see to the right. The fascinating thing is that tomato plant's from last year, and I was going to rip it out. But it's doing good, and yes, the monarchs are everywhere. I am clearing out a lot of the milkweed and putting it into pots and moving it around. But some of the milkweed that's growing, that's kind of off to the side and not in my way, I think I'll go ahead and leave it. And if you see battered up monarchs, the males are fighting with each other all over the place. Oh well. Well, done with one chore, which I absolutely love, and now on to another. I wonder which one that will be today. Bye-bye.